Matthew Whitaker is the former acting Attorney General, and he joins me now. Matt, welcome back. Always good to see you. Is Cohen a credible witness?
Stuart. Well, he's not, and he's proven over the years to be very inconsistent with his recollection and his recalling of certain important facts. Obviously, his testimony yesterday was crafted to try to support the prosecution's theory of this case. I think it's fallen flat, especially when cross-examination starts. But, you know, this case is really not only a travesty of justice, it's bad for the American system of justice. I think it undermines a lot of Americans' faith in the justice system. And it's, really anti-constitutional as to how they're pursuing this based on one convicted perjurer and his word versus, the truth, quite frankly.
Jonathan Turley, distinguished law professor and a contributor to Fox, he says there should be a directed verdict. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I presume Turley thinks the judge should just take hold of this thing and say yes or no, guilty or not guilty. What's this about?
Yeah. Well, Stuart, I've tried cases both as a prosecutor and a defense lawyer, and this case certainly is one that a directed verdict is appropriate. It's where, at the close of the government's case in chief, the defense moves to say that no matter what the facts are that have been demonstrated, they do not prove a crime on which relief can be granted. There can be no conviction based on this set of facts. I think that's a great argument. I think Jonathan Turley is absolutely right, and I think if this judge was fair, unbiased, he would grant that directed verdict.
Got it. One more for you. The hosts of The View have finally realized that Trump's criminal trial could actually be helping Trump. Watch this.
Well, I would say when you say the Biden campaign has to get more active, I actually blame the media slightly. We talked last week a lot about how I don't think people are able to watch this Trump trial 24/7, like all the time. Like last week, our incumbent president stepped in to do a speech on anti-Semitism. They cut to the speech, came back and talked about Donald Trump. So what's happening here is Donald Trump is Donald Trumping us. It's deja vu from 2016. And the coverage, the irony is the people covering that news thinks they're getting one up on Donald Trump while they're handing him a lot of votes because of the coverage. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Do you agree with that, Matt, that the trial helps Trump?
Well, the polls would suggest that Donald Trump is leading in almost all of the competitive swing states. You know, everywhere I go, Donald Trump is very popular and people want to support him and however they can. I get, requests all the time that folks that want to go to the courthouse and go see the trial and see kind of how bad it is and how unfair it has been for President Trump. So absolutely, this trial is helping President Trump, and I think the American people have discounted it as we head into November as important in their lives, and it may be the only trial we see between now and then.
Okay. Matthew Whitaker, thanks very much for being with us. I know we'll see you again a lot soon.
Thank you,
Matt.
Stuart.
Sure thing.